So today let's start with the easiest routine, and that is the shoe sound for calming the liver. At least that's my judgment as to which is the easiest. So with the shoe sound, we stand with the feet hip width apart. As we inhale, we're going to lead the chi up from the liver 1 point, over the top of the foot and up the inside of the legs, and then up through the torso to the liver 13, and then the liver 14. Okay, so all that's on inhale. Then as we exhale, we're going to open our eyes widely. We're going to bend slightly forward. We're going to make the shoe sound. And we're going to pull in the lower abdomen and lift the pelvic floor. And imagine that we're squeezing all the impurities out of our liver. Okay. So, liver 1 is at the base of the big toenail, the outside corners. And the liver 14 is here. Okay. And that's the end of the external liver channel. We inhale. Use your mind to lead the chi from liver 1 up the liver channel to the liver 14 points. And as you exhale, bend slightly forward, open the eyes, round out the mouth, pull up the pelvic floor, pull in the abdomen, and make the shoe sound. Inhale, lead the chi up the liver channel. Exhale. We're, of course, using the return to childhood breathing because we were squeezing in as we exhale, drawing in the abdomen, lifting the pelvic floor. So that's return to childhood breathing. Inhale. Exhale. And again, in. And out. And it's okay to pause for a couple of breaths between repetition. We have quite a powerful exhalation because, of course, we're trying to squeeze the abdomen in to squeeze the liver, in effect. So that's going to be a strong exhalation. And again, in. And out. As the eyes open wide, you also imagine that any illness is being expelled from the eyes. In. Out. out. And one more. In. Out. So we're going to still be working with the liver channel. And in this one, remember that we use the sword secret hand form and the middle finger as an extension of the pericardium channel to stimulate the liver 1 point. Then we use the Laoguang gates of pericardium point number 8, which we quite often use for stimulating the qi flow in the acupoints and the acu channels, because in a healthy person, the Laoguang gates always have abundant energy. So we use those to stimulate the liver 14 and the liver 13. And our stimulation of those points is 6 rotations in each direction, in order to stimulate the flow of qi, but not to change the point's yin and yang state, okay? Because if we were using a needle, for example, if you twist the needle clockwise, it stimulates the point. And if you twist the needle counterclockwise, it sedates the point. Well, in medical Qigong exercise, we're not usually have the background to decide whether the point needs to be stimulated or sedated. And even if you did know, chances are, if you're teaching this to a group of people, there'll be people who would need to go in one way and some need to go the opposite way. So it just wouldn't work. So the equal number of rotations in each direction stimulates the flow of qi, but doesn't change the yin-yang state of the point. Okay? And then, of course, we have our physical manipulation of the liver and the spleen, bending to the sides and bending forward and backward. Okay. So, Qigong to ease the liver. Again, feet stay about hip width apart. Inhale. Imagine you're lifting a ball up over your head. Connect the Laoguang gates in the Bai Hui point at the top of your head. You might imagine the energy pouring into your head through the Bai Hui point. And exhale now. Pay attention as the Laoguang pass over the eyes and past the stomach 13 point, about right here, remember? And then place on the liver 14 and circle 6 times in each direction. Mind underneath the palms. And the other way. Holding the Laoguang points over the liver 14, and bend 4 times to each side. So it's easiest to exhale out and inhale in. Now the liver channel runs like this, down kind of along the bottom of the rib cage. And down here we have liver 13. See, when I find the point, usually get a little bit of sensation. So sometimes it's, oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, so 6 times in each direction on liver 13. Now we slide the palms down to just below the navel. And we'll bend backward and forward 3 times. So bending backwards, get a nice stretch on the hypochondrium, right? Then from here, slide your palms down along the inside of your legs. And point the sword secret hand form to the liver 1. Don't touch, just point in about 10 seconds. Then bend your knees and lift the ball up over your head again. Connect the Lao Gong Bai Hui. Past the eyes. Past the stomach 12. Place on liver 14 and circle 6 times in each direction. Holding the palms or the Lao Gong gates over the liver 14s. Bend 4 times to each side. Slide down to liver 13 and circle 6 times in each direction. Then slide down to just below the navel. And backward and forward 3 times. Slide your palms down the inside of the legs, along the liver channel, and point sword secret hand to liver 1. And continue to breathe. Then bend the knees, lift the ball up over the head, Lao Gong and Bai Hui connect. Passing the eyes, passing the stomach 12, and circling on liver 14. Bending 4 times to each side. All the time, keep your mind inside your body. Pay attention to the feeling, particularly under the palms and in the liver and spleen. Now slide down to liver 13 and circle 6 times in each direction. Now, slide the palms down to just below the navel, bend backward and forward 3 times. Slide the palms down the inside of the legs. Point to liver 1. Bend the knees. Lift the ball up over the head. Lao Gongen Bai Hui. Feel a connection. Eyes. Stomach 12. Liver 14. Bending. Sliding down. And hands just below the navel. Backward and forward. Slide down the inside of the legs. Point to liver 1. Bend the knees. Lift the ball over the head. Now I'm going to be quiet and follow me, or actually try to do this on your own. But if you get stuck, then look at what I'm doing. Because we reached a time in the semester when we need to start making sure the students have internalized the knowledge. And bend the knees, lift the ball over the head again. Let's do again with me being silent. and the knees. Lift the ball up over the head. Now, let's let you do this on your own 2 times while I watch the gallery, not to correct, but just to see if you are able to do this without having to watch me. When you finish, so you're doing your last repetition. You come like this, just like this and end. Okay. That's like more for performance than effect, but it gives it a clean ending. Now, any comments or questions about performing there on your own without watching me? I think that everything looked pretty good. The circles could be a little tighter. If you look for the on the Google, if you Google the points, and you can see exactly where they are. You make the circles maybe a little tighter over the point, not so large. But otherwise look good. And so that's what you need to do, is to be able to remember the routine. And then I know it takes a while to put it into memory. But if you can remember the routine, then you can take it anywhere. Of course, nowadays, if you have your device with you, you can watch the video anywhere almost. But say you were out camping in the wilds of Montana, you could still do the liver Qigong even if you were out of Wi-Fi range. So, and then if you want to demonstrate or teach other people, of course, you kind of have to have the thing into memory pretty well. Ideally, you would do this in bare feet, because then you would get better access when pointing to the liver 1. And in fact, they would tell you, the old masters would tell you to go outside and do all your Qigong and Tai Chi in bare feet. They were a little bit more stoic than we are. Didn't mind the gnats and the heat and the whatever else you might step on in your bare feet. Remember the piercing, we changed the claws. From here, there's the claws of pouncing and clawing, and tiger wakes up, then the piercing claws become like this. Okay. So imagine I've just landed a pounce. And now I'm going to step out, and my foot's going to be pointed kind of to the corner. Now here we have an issue with the knee. I can switch my knee to like this if I want to bend lower. This, ironically, is called the Tame the Tiger stance, as my feet are positioned at a 135-degree angle in reference to each other, which allows me to bend my knee in the same direction as the toes and go lower in my tiger piercing. We do 3 circles, and at this point in the circle we make the sound. So I'm on liver side, so it would be shoo. Okay. If I don't want to go down so low, I can keep the knee pointed at a 45-degree angle, just straight ahead, and bend like this. But to me, it feels better if I change the knee to 130, or the foot to 135 degrees. So I can bend it more easily. Okay. Now, let me try to show you the transition from one piercing to another. So 1, shoo, 2, shoo, 3, shoo. Turn my front foot out, a step, step across, and step out. Now I'm going to change my rear foot to 135 degrees. Hoo, I'm on the spleen side. Hoo. Hoo. Okay. So it's kind of impossible for me to do more than 2 before I get out of camera frame. But remember that as we circle, the elbows lifted up, and you want to feel nice stretch, lifting stretch on the liver, and of course the spleen on the other side. So let's try that again. I'm not sure exactly how to get on the correct leg for you. I'll try this way. Pounce. Now, oh yeah, I'd have to do the other side. Okay. So let's imagine I've landed and I've landed this way with this foot back. Now, changing the claws, I step down, I step across, I start to circle, and I step out. I'm going to change my rear foot, and I'm on spleen side, so hoo, hoo, hoo. I don't quite know how to explain what the hands do in the transition, so let me try to show you from this angle. So this is, imagine this is my last of the 3 circles. Shoo. Something like this. Dr. Young on the DVD lifts the leg up, stepping down, stepping across, and 2, 3. Okay, so takes practice to kind of get the feel. There's a little feel for this, but I don't know how to explain it. Yeah. I don't really quite know how to explain what's going on. This is why in all the documents that I do for the seasonal Qigong, I don't even attempt to explain the animal movements in words because I can't. You just have to watch them and keep trying to imitate them. Then eventually you get kind of a feel for it, and then of course after about 10 years or so you start to change them because they become your own. That's what I've done, I think, to some of the animal movements, that I've gone with my feeling, but I'm going to try to start you off with the original feeling that and movements that I learned from Dr. Young. Try to minimize what I've added to it. Okay, so let's give it a go from the beginning with the Tiger Awakens. The Tiger Awakens and looks all around for food. So important in this one to remember that as you're doing the different movements, you're looking all around for food because of the feature of the neck muscles going under the rib cage and doing an internal massage on the organs. So feet together, step out. I have clawing claws. I start to use more of the spine and more of the legs. And I'm trying to open up the hypochondrium here. Now step into center and step out. I can use liver sound here. In and out. Looking all around for food. In and out. In and out. In, I'll sit back, circle, and make the spleen sound. Now sit back and circle on the closed side. Out, make the liver sound. I'll sit back, open up my, turn my waist, open up my front foot, step to center, step out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in, in, looking all around for food. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, 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 out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, in, let me step back and show you transition to tiger clawing. So I open up the hypochondrium, turn, so before I turn my body, I stretch the hypochondrium, turn, my front foot still pointed straight ahead. Now I'll sit back and turn my waist and turn my front foot out. Again here, now here. So now this is inhale, this is exhale. My front foot's still straight ahead. In, out. Now, as I said before, I remember lifting the hand up high and doing this. As I look at the DVD, I see Dr. Young doing it like he's doing Tai Chi. Now, I don't know exactly why I have those differences, but know that one thing that Dr. Young had said early on is that in his videos, he always does something a little bit different, so he can tell who learned from the video and who learned directly from him. So I'm thinking that maybe this is in the video, and when we did the live seminars with him, we were doing this. But it could be that it's just my feeling and I change in my own, so I don't know. But I'll let you know, I like this because of the stretch here that I feel when I'm like this. Okay. So, in and out. Shoo. In, out, in, out. In, out, in, out. Shoo. In, out, in, and out. Okay. Now, tiger pouncing. I'll try to demonstrate what I saw on the DVD, if I can. So, at the end of clawing, something like that, okay? With the rear foot not leaving the ground. Now, say again that it doesn't have the same feeling as when you leave the ground, because when you leave the ground, you get a lift here that you don't get when you don't leave the ground. So, again, I don't know why the DVD shows the kids not leaving the ground. It might be for liability issues, because you have the disclaimer on your DVD, but still somebody who shouldn't be pouncing or leaving the ground, leaves the ground and hurts themselves, then I don't know, maybe you have problems. So anyway, I remember that we left the ground. We were younger then. You know, I might have done the first Five Animal seminar 20 years ago. So who knows? Anyway, so I'll do another pounce. Oh, turn my foot out before I pounce. Yeah, so, 2. Now I sit back, turn my foot out, step to center, and pounce. Like that, okay? Now, I'm going to turn my front foot out 45 degrees. I'm going to lift my rear leg high like this. Let me get a little bit better centered. Step across and step out. Turning my rear foot out. Shoo, shoo, shoo. Now I think I started circling a little early on that one, so let me try again. So pants, turn my front foot out, I lift my rear leg up, and a step, I step, and now I start circling. Shoo. I'm going to turn my foot, again my foot, rear foot, I'm going to turn it 135 degrees relative to the front foot. Shoo. Palms obliquely upward so that we get this lifting stretch on the liver. Shoo.